Michael Moore has been bit slapped this Saturday night by the Mormon cult and their Muslim brothers with Solari Enterprises on American soil. Who knows what else they're up to? And he runs into Mayor Garsetti's office and he says, "You tell me the truth. Have you been getting kickbacks from the Saudi royal family to look the other way with Solari Enterprises active harassment of Christians in Los Angeles and active part in America's hijacked lifelines?" And the mayor, Garsetti, says, "Oh, hell yeah. I was trying to hide it from you, but yeah, here's the numbers. You can get some kickbacks too." And Michael Moore says, "Great. I'm tired of being bit slapped by those praying to the 9/11 devil down below." So Father Adam is talking to the general about America's hijacked lifelines, and he does so in a very calm, polite way. I'm using this particular technique. I know a lot of folks know how to do it, and yes, I had a Muslim guy 3 weeks ago lay in wait at the Shell station as I went across the street to get food. I also get pills over there, and laid in wait to harass a Christian in a wheelchair as I came back over in front of Solari Enterprises, a Muslim company that's been part of harassing a Christian in a wheelchair for past 2 years, 3 months. And when the general was screaming good and loud, he asked him, "Is this how uninformed you were, General, when we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins with 9/11? He didn't know anything about the hijacked lifelines and easily documented stuff, and he really should in his business. "Is this how uninformed you were, General, when they placed a cowardly Hussein in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins?" And he gets a nice video for the parishioners. Adam is a police chief from somewhere other than California, Los Angeles, and he's concerned about the top cops of California, troopers, county, city. In particular, it's Moore, LAPD, he's concerned about now. He got there just in time. Happened to be in LA for some kind of a conference, and that door opens up to Moore's office, and he walks out. So does that Fedster, you know. He says, "Come back," Moore does to the federal guy on his way out. I'll be good. I don't know what to tell them. It's obvious by hijacking America's lifelines you're being treasonous about." And yes, he's got that handprint on his face, and yeah, that police chief, he'll be doing some counseling for LA's. All of you, try to call me in front of them. Save that video for the Senate subcommittee. It means more coming from you. A lot of bishops have been busy. They're going to parishioners' homes if they don't see them on Sunday. They're pulling them aside at those churches. They're going to their offices, and they're polite, but they are matter of fact and truthful. And one says to one of my old classmates, "We know all about the Pope has sent us out, knows all about you've been an active part in America's hijacked lifelines and impersonating Milton with impersonators for the since the 70s, 1970s, and he says, we want you to stop doing that. Other Catholics, other Christians want to come talk to the man, and they meet you, the Great Wall of Chinese Evil disinformation campaign." And David says, "Oh, I don't know anything about that." And yeah, the bishop asks, "How'd your cheeks get red?" And he has to be truthful. He's a priest. It's from kissing the devil's ass. I just noticed something. I went through, I've got two of these. One's for, what's on the DVD there. The DVD label on my wheelchair there. I looked and just separated, and yeah, it's the Hussein one. The cowardly Hussein one's missing. And yeah, the photos got to me. That one there, a little beat up. The 8x10's a little beat up too. I'll have to go through and look and see if the cowardly Hussein got off into the Saints, but yeah. It speaks to the Mormon cult, I believe. They've got several shrines, temples to the cowardly Hussein in Utah. So Abdul Latif, cowardly Hussein placer, hater of saints and truth, is jetted off to Saudi Arabia in a Saudi palace, and he runs into Sony Ta, a Chinese doctor, in the way of truth as well as medical research, and says hi, and sure enough, oh, there you are. There comes Osama bin Laden, Hussein's dad, and they both say hi for him, and Abdul Latif says, don't worry, your son's gonna fake your death with those cowardly SEALs. Remember to make that video, America's Hijacked Lifelines post. Don't let that happen again. Mayor Garsetti is at a press conference, and one of them asked him about me, Melton. John Melton Brady asking for Flight 93 checks for over a decade without getting one. What he's doing about it, and he says, "Oh, I've got a presidential bid in mind. The next one, and I'm just hoping those Mormon cult, Muslim cult folks with Laurie Enterprises will just up and kill him, so I don't have to worry about that dragging my campaign down." Remember to 9/11 Flight 93 check and post and fight before you come out here as a tourist. You'll get the same treatment from Garsetti and others of California's government as I have. You post whatever you get when you don't get me. So a woman is trying to get some, complimentary stuff, and she says, "Don't worry, I'm with Michael Moore, the LAPD guy." And the store owner goes, "Oh, so do you know why I can't reach Melton and why so many LAPD folks are active in America's Hijacked Lifelines, easily documented, as we try to call Melton, and make videos left and right of your malfeasance, your treasonous activity?" And he tries to call me in front of that lady, and yeah, do that in front of all the top cops of LA. Ask him, why can't Melton get not have his health threatened by your harassment at T-Terrace? We're in Wadeo, a more honest world, because of the ever-present eyes and ears of technology. And Dad, the devil hates the Jesus in the window there. Yeah, all doctors, it's nothing personal. We're making the most. We're hanging on your every word. We're making the most of your expensive time. Remember, any one of your patients can have those ever-present eyes and ears of technology rolling with just an audio maker. And you got 30,000 other images can be made into desktops, guys. Check them out, print them out, and hand this to your doctor. Tell them Laurie and Brady Bond and the devil bunch requested this image with their character. Remember, everybody's watching. He's addressing the college crowd. He'll be addressing the church crowd, another one, tomorrow. And he has those documentaries. These are the Mormon cult fanatics. Shuttled from Utah to Los Angeles, these particular ones. Points out where they're shuttled from, what they do. They harass a Christian in a wheelchair, me. And he points that out. He makes a nice documentary video of each one for all those good Americans across America to do more than just 9/11 Flight 93 check. You can't reach me by phone. You have no idea when else your phone won't be allowed to work. He's got the addresses. Park noisemakers outside their homes. Get them screaming out, these particular Utahnians, what they're doing besides harassing a Christian in a wheelchair for the past decade plus. So Governor Newsom is at a press conference. Excuse me, he's at a photo op. Call it like it is. And he is seeing all kinds of Melton, son of a carpenter and Mary imagery, big fights and such. The 93 checks up, which I can't find right now. And someone just comes out and asks him, why aren't you doing something about Solari Enterprises with their Muslim? Yeah, it's very frequently talked about the Taliban, the ISIS, the royal Saudi Arabian family. Why aren't you doing something? He says, oh, I've got a presidential bid in mind, and yeah, if they up and kill them, the Mormon cult or the Muslim, then yeah, I don't have to worry about the truth interfering with my presidential bid. Florida, have at it. That makes a good 8x10. You can read the smaller stuff. Hand this out to all states, all Americans, all from foreign countries even. Tell them. California has an active part in compromising the world's security with their praying to that 9/11 Muslim devil down below. Before you come out here to California, you go out there to California. Oh, I got 30,000 graphic art photos, and a lot of them are 93 checks. Pick the one you like, hand it out with my number, tell them. Let that audio maker, video maker go as you try to call Melton and you ask California law enforcement and government, why are you an active part, Solari Enterprises, YouTube? Why are you an active part in America's high-tech lifelines, the cowardly Hussein placing, other compromising elements of our security? What's your part in that? Get their reaction and post again and again. Call on. They got too much time on their hands. They're here harassing Christian and wheelchair terrorists. Jennifer was in a bad car wreck, and her child was burned in that car wreck, and she's been in the hospital non-stop with her kid, and a nurse, Nurse Agnes, sees her there, and she asks, did you think it took forever for that AT&T phone in your hand there to work? And she says, yeah, as a matter of fact, I did. She said, it wasn't your imagination, it wasn't just a bad reception. You try to call Melton, 424-229-4140. Make that video, post that video, whatever you get when you don't get him. And here's a whole lot of other numbers of AT&T's employees, of the Mormon cult folks, of the Muslim cult folks in America here and overseas. And military generals. Call them up, ask, when else will your phone not be allowed to work? Time, date, my number dial. Save it for the Senate subcommittee, the video. So Ralph calls up Adam and Leroy. They're members of the California law enforcement, county, city, state. And he says, I'm getting a whole lot of calls from the NRA about our active participation in America's hijacked lifelines as a threat to our security as a nation and as families. They know we're hijacking their calls to Melton and they want to know why you're being so American as un-American as California law enforcement and trying to take the civil liberties out of the hands of the rest of America. Light up those switchboards, and you got a nice place to live other than California here with the cowardly Hussein placing. Yeah, come see me. Have wit, we'll travel. County cops, state troopers with California and Utah, as well as other cops there, other cowards hiding behind the badge, has gotten yet another call from New York cops, New York firefighters, other good American firefighters, cops, and just plain Americans all across America, asking them, why is your hatred of our country and truth so much that as a coward behind a badge, you are an active part in America's hijacked lifelines? And Lenny's just had enough of that. He gets down on those hands and knees and puts that head to the floor. And I can't find it quick enough, but yeah, he's praying to that 9/11 Muslim devil down below. Get him on video doing that. Just ask him about me not getting a Flight 93 ticket for over a decade. Let that video camera roll as they rage. A politician is having a press conference. Take your pick, mayors, governors, senators. Could be like a morning show or a news show. You know how vain those folks can be. But whoever it is, they're kind of smiling because they see those in the audience there. They're smiling, and yes, afterwards that press secretary or whoever will walk up to them and tell them all about that Flight 93 check image they had on that poster behind them. Not one Flight 93 check in over a decade of asking, no certified, no non-certified mail, guys. Make that video of not only religious censorship but medical research being passed by. Post. So a Catholic calls up Michael Moore, LAPD police chief, and the Catholic says, what is your active part in America's hijacked lifelines, and why are you being bitch slapped by the Mormon cult perverts? We don't like them casing our neighborhoods when the only ones home are the kids after school. Why are you in bed with them? Michael Moore, praying to that 9/11 devil down below, and you try to call me with all of the top cops of California and Utah on speakerphone in person. You ask them what's your dangerous part in America's hijacked lifelines. Why are you praying to that 9/11 devil down below? Get the reaction and you post. Come see me in person. Moore, LAPD chief, is having a press conference, and a whole lot of folks behind him are holding up posters, maybe even just pages or 4x6s. My work's very distinctive. They're holding up posters and they're asking him questions like, why are you letting the Mormon cult perverts from Utah bitch slap you and Los Angeles with this parade of snot-nosed, courtesy of their state troopers, Utah's, in and out of underneath the Christian in a wheelchair Melton, some called through Mary as well. Why are you letting them do that? And Michael Moore says, it's part of my pact with the devil. Remember to make that video trying to call me Melton in front of all California cowardly cops. Al has a bar by the airport, and he's noticed a lot of pilots in there, but they're always in there. And he says, where do you guys go? Who do you work for? And this guy with a thick Russian accent, he says, I'm with Susan Wojcicki, the YouTube gal, and she told me to keep the jet, running in case that Senate subcommittee came up. And yes, one's there for the cowardly Hussein, one's got Michael Moore, the LAPD guy, and yes, of course, Randall Stevenson's in town, and one's for, with the Chinese accent, Wu. He's going to leave Tommy behind, and all those folks are not going back to where they're from. Yeah, they're going to Saudi Arabia. Has gone into town, get some stuff, and Adam, he recognizes the general, and he walks up to him, says hello. He asks about America's hijacked lifelines, and yeah, he can be good. He doesn't like to admit it, but he can be good at getting under folks' skin. So by the time the general is yelling and screaming about America's hijacked lifelines, you not reaching me for over a decade, and his praying to the 9/11 Muslim devil down below, and his position that should not be. He should be tried for treason doing that. He has that general screaming, and yes, Father Adam has a nice audio documentary of folks who should not be where they are. So it is a big party, and Solari Enterprises is there, and YouTube's Susan, and one of them says, "Oh, it's great. We're openly harassing Christians in wheelchairs and not in wheelchairs. We placed a cowardly Hussein in the White House. What's next?" And Susan Wojcicki, I don't know, it says, "Well, me and my husband are thinking of placing a cowardly Hussein at the top of Russia's government." Yeah, make that video of America's hijacked lifelines, 424-229-4140. A lot of folks praying to the 9/11 devil down below. Get them on video doing that. It's official. It's Sunday, but I guess they pray every day. That's what AT&T uses in your neck of the woods. It's certainly not for safety. It's a closed parking lot. They can turn that off, but they choose to harass Christian in a wheelchair. And about 8 other apartment complexes. See that baby trail? Make a video of America's hijacked lifelines and tell everyone about that. Whenever you hear the Muslims praying to the 9/11 devil down below noise, that's AT&T's Randall Stevenson telling you he's an active part in cowardly Hussein placing and harassment techniques all across America. You call him on it. All 150 million subscribers. You can't reach me right now, 424-229-4140. You have no idea when else your phone won't be allowed to work, so get it on video, your hijack call to me. Certify the mail, make the video as well. Use those GPS things to find America's stolen mail warehouses and tell everyone about that 9/11 Muslim devil down below, praying to it. Noise. So the Mormon cult perverts have showed up at the military base, and the general wouldn't let the men fix that hole they cut in the wire so they could go in and knock on the general's door. Originally was going out on a Friday night, because a whole lot of folks have been calling and asking about his part in America's hijacked lifelines. And they knocked on the door, and he had that dress on, wanted to go kick up his heels. And so they knock on the door again, and it kind of opens, and he's down on his hands and knees, and they say, "What happened, General?" Oh, in the dress, of course. And the general says, "Oh, I didn't drop anything. I'm not looking under the couch there. I'm praying to the 9/11 devil down below, what placed cowardly Hussein in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins." Ask the general about that. Find out what else he's doing. LAPD Chief Michael Moore is showing some cops from another part of the country around the station, and LAPD has a lot of stuff going on. 1 in 30 Americans lives in LA County, so of course the city that sees a lot of people. And as he's doing that, he runs into a couple of Mormon cult missionaries, and they say, "Can we have a word with you?" Oh, they come from all races and places. I saw an African American dressed as an African American Mormon cult missionary yesterday. And he, they go in the office, he comes out, he's a little roughed up, he's got a big hand mark on his face, and the other cop says, "Friend, is there anything going on with that? And he says, "Oh, it's nothing." "Yeah, you call LAPD, the Mormon cult's on site harassing a Christian in a wheelchair right now. You asked them, why are you being bitch slapped? All good cops across America. Why are you being bitch slapped by the Mormon cult perverts? Case in neighborhoods when the only ones home are the kids after school. What's your part in that? What else aren't you doing? That's your job." LA's Mayor Garsetti has been called before the Senate subcommittee, and the senator says, "I find it hard to believe that you were actively involved in harassing a Christian in a wheelchair in America's hijack lifelines. What is your connection to NLAURIED Enterprises, Muslim company in Los Angeles?" And Mayor Garcetti says, "Oh, no direct connections. I just get kickbacks, payoffs from the Saudi royal family to look the other way as they conduct the harassment techniques against Christians in a wheelchair. So you don't, have anything against Christians in a wheelchair." And Mayor Garcetti says, "Oh no, whoever's paying me off, doesn't matter what religion they're part of, just pay me off." My check-in post in 5, and that's my number 424-229-4140. It's with my new YouTube, because I don't know what's going on with bizarre folks on the Harbinger cult. But I take toys left and right. And I'm not sure what this is. It might be from the old. I don't know, because I don't use anything. It's the new one, but it might be linked to the old. Check out the check-in post in 5 with the OneDrive as well. See, that's the Gmail I just got. I think I had to get it when I got that, or it's synced to it, maybe, I don't know. But it's also a OneDrive at Outlook.com. Got some stuff there, and yeah. Make that video. If you had your call to me, post it to your YouTube. Remember to post and repost and all kinds of imagery I haven't received comment one by phone or mail with. So post and repost, and yeah, hold that up at all Garsetti. And Newsom, California governor, at their photo ops, every single one. And you try to call me and put them up there, say, why are you actively harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? Not one Flight 93 chick in a decade of asking with a whole lot of Muslims with the Mormon cult, the Muslim cult as well. Why are you harassing that man? Why is my child's, my family's, I don't have a child or a family, I'm talking about you. Why is my family's lifeline not working as I try to call the man? When else will it not be allowed to work, Governor Newsom? Mayor Garsetti? Something all other states should ask California about, Utah as well, and Louisiana, and yes, include those Catholics in Louisiana and Utah, and particularly doctors and professional folks of that nature. Try to call me with them on speakerphone or in person. Say, when else will my phone not be allowed to work? Oh, that's me right now. It's a hot end of August, and I got my shirt off. Used to wear the DVDs. How I Reached the World, flash drives as well. External hard drives. How I Reached the World, despite those dangerous foes. Hijacking America's lifelines right now. Make that video, post that video, whatever you get when you don't get me. And tell all college students, Occidental is up there somewhere, to hold up whatever imagery they like from those 93 chicks. You don't like the that one? How about this one here? Hold it up. Oh, I got 30,000 plus graphic art, photos, and a lot of 93 chick imagery and videos without getting one call. So all college students, you see how many folks, mayors, governors, senators, that you can ask about me and get them on video. Wear them with Dale. That's my YouTube as well. You can find this here. It takes you right to there. I got 2 or 3 of them open. But yeah, make that video. When you try to call me, all folks in college, it's America's Hijacked Lifelines. It's also our AT&T livelihoods. Meaning, whatever you're going to do after college, I bet you use the phone. And when you can't reach me, you get a boring thing, phone ringing, error message, busy signal. Not going to be boring if you or your family or anybody needs a fireman, police, paramedics. It's money out of your pocket. It's our AT&T livelihoods. So get it on video and ask all those folks, mayors, governors, senators, why can't I reach Melton, John Melton Brady, and what's your part in that? Shouldn't you be doing something about that? A mayor and governor, all mayors and governors, but in particular, California's in Los Angeles. Oh, those 30,000 aside from 93 checks, I'm not making any money in my graphic art. It's my AT&T livelihood. They bought Spectrum next door, in case you ever hear some loud folks. That's them harassing a Christian in a wheelchair. Bought Spectrum to do that. Gets their hands bloody, Randall Stevenson does. Placing a cowardly Hussein in our White House. I'm not a fan of the Oriental buffoon guy in there now. He's comic relief though after, yes, placing a cowardly Hussein. How'd they do that? You can't reach me by phone. When you're calling up 10 years ago, however many, you're calling up all those voters to tell them they're trying to pull a fast one, place a cowardly Hussein in our White House. And you get that boring thing, phone ringing, error message, busy signal. It's our democracy being hijacked. It's our lifelines. Make that video, post that video, whatever you get when you don't get me. Hold up all kinds of imagery at those photo ops. Gotta call them like I see them. And come see me in person. Let me make you look good against clouds. He's kind of got a little resemblance to Abdul Latif. Not the dog with the tail wagging there, or whatever that is. But the guy over there by the little gray Humvee, military reference, gray reference, Mormon cult reference, military, Mormon, Muslim, Jim I'm also getting. Remember, that's the one that was jetting off, Muslim cleric jetting off to Saudi Arabia just before they placed a cowardly Hussein in our White House to dishonor our democracy. Abdul Latif. Amanda has been visiting her child in a burn unit. And Agnes, the nurse there at the hospital, asked her, "Did you think your AT&T phone did not work good in that emergency?" And of course he says, "Yeah, I did think that, but of course it's an emergency, so who knows?" And it seems like it would go by quicker in emergency at the time. She said, "Try to call Melton, 424-229-4140. Get America's Hijacked Lifelines on video. AT&T's Randall Stevenson and others active in America's Hijacked Lifelines. Get it on video." So she makes a lot of calls sitting by her child's bedside. You should too. 424-229-4140. That one flight 93 check call and over a decade of asking. Khalif is a Muslim, and he's calling up California's cops to complain, as well as YouTube, to complain about them harassing a Christian in a wheelchair who's telling the truth about them and their active part in America's Hijacked Lifelines. He doesn't like that, so he's calling them up and asking them why they are part of harassing a Christian in a wheelchair, why they are part of this image being designed. Mormon Muslim cult. See, the PC folks that would be offended by something like that, I don't hear them on the phone. I don't see them knocking on the door because they're active and it's all one big show. The truth of the matter is you can't reach me by phone. It's America's Lifelines being hijacked by Khalif and those YouTube folks, as well as the top cops. Get it on video, and yeah, make that video of your call to me in front of all those folks on that list. See a helicopter? Be on the side of those driving the tanks, the jeeps, the jets, the helicopters, police cars, the fire trucks. Be on the side of the kids in truth. Make that video of your hijack call to me, Melton, right now. That one flight 93 check call and over a decade of asking. No certified mail, no non-certified mail, no FedEx, no UPS about those 93 checks or many others of my attention getting imagery. Make that video. Post. Get a little justice for Mary's children of 9/11. You got the time and the date in your video. They're worried enough about their crimes to alter phone records to cover that up. So save that video for the Senate subcommittee and the evening news. Garsetti is walking down the street. He's wearing sunglasses, a hat, but somebody spots him and he says he knows how to get under folks' skin. This good American who has a whole bunch of my imagery, my number with it, and he says, "Garsetti, why are you getting kickbacks from Saudi Arabia, the Muslims, the Mormon cult? Why can't I reach this man, Melton, John Melton Brady? And what is your very active part in harassing a Christian in a wheelchair?" And Garsetti just does what he always does. He gives him the finger and rushes off. Remember to get his number, call him up 24/7, ask him, why are you having your cop thugs? Why aren't you keeping a leash on them? Why are they harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? Why are you placing Cowardly Hussein in a White House? Why are you an active part in America's Hijacked Lifelines? Save your video for the Senate subcommittee. Oh, LAPD Michael Moore as well. To have an incredibly large amount of corrupt and cowardly California cops dishonoring the profession of being cops, from LAPD to county to state. And of course the ever-present Utah ones with their rock chucker ones of the Mormon cult. So call them up like never before. Ask them why they are an active part in the rest of the United States. Phones being hijacked. Do that tourist check and call all senators of California and Utah and ask why are they harassing a Christian in a wheelchair. And you try to call me in front of them to ask them why they are part of that Cowardly Hussein placing and remind all those cops and military and others, officials, that yes, the cowardly Hussein can't pardon them anymore. So Adam is police chief from another state, county, city, top of the cops from non-California, non-Utah police, and he's talking to each and every one of the top cops of California, including the LAPD's Michael Moore, currently being bitch-slapped by the Mormon cult this morning, as he has been quite often. Either that or he's active in America's Hijacked Lifelines by harassing a Christian in a wheelchair. And the police chief, he gets Michael Moore and others introducing, other top cops, introducing him to their impersonators of me. And he's got a nice audio maker in his phone and otherwise documenting the whole thing for the Senate subcommittee. So Michael Moore, LAPD chief, is walking around downtown LA, and again, folks, reporters and just plain citizens ask him, Michael, why are you being bitch slapped by the Mormons, the Mormon cult? Why aren't you doing your job? What do you know about Milton, Christian in a wheelchair, having his livelihood, his lifeline hijacked? What is your active part in that, Mr. Moore? And Michael, he keeps going and he keeps going, and he said, I don't know anything about that. He lies. And again, and finally he says to his second, man, why are they doing that? And they say, oh, you're cutting into their tourist revenues. They do those California tourist checks by trying to call Milton and find you complicit with folks threatening our security as a nation. So Moore, LAPD police, Moore, the top cop, has stopped by Mayor Garsetti's office, and he shows him a video of his press conference, Garsetti's press conference, not looking out for the citizens of Los Angeles, in bed with Solari Enterprises and their active part in America's Hijacked Lifelines, 424-229-4140. Make that video right now. And they have taken to placing my imagery, especially in those who are not doing the jobs, but all politicians, all cops, whenever they're making a press conference video, you get it on video. Their active part in persecution, religious persecution, placing a cowardly Hussein in our White House, and actively involved in our lifelines. Try to call me up, 424-229-4140, in front of them, and ask them, when else will my phone not be allowed to work? What's your part in it? The general is in town. He's coming out of a store on his way to his Jeep, and a concerned citizen walks up to him and says, what do you know about Milton, John Milton Brady? Not getting one Flight 93 check call in over a decade of asking. And he demonstrates America's Hijacked Lifelines by trying to call me up in front of that general. And he does this for America's kids, their hijacked lifeline. He does it for them. He gets that general a little angry, and by the time that general is screaming, he asks him, why are you praying to the 9/11 devil down below? When else will my phone not be allowed to work? And were you this uninformed? As they placed a cowardly Hussein in our White House right after we got attacked by a whole lot of cowardly Husseins. That was a nice lady who cleans and does my laundry. Brought some flowers over. I've been taking some photos. Hope to have some new stuff to design imagery with, saints and otherwise. And yes, I'm holding the camera against the table as I make this video. And I've noticed that hasn't stopped. Literally, I will have the camera dead still, and I call them Chinese with their Mormon cult folks on hand. Just like the NLAURIED folks have to be obvious. But we'll have it shaking. And my hand will shake every once in a while. It's part of growing a new body. But yeah, make that video of your hijack call to me. Come see me in person. Tell me what you think of our AT&T livelihoods and AT&T lifelines. And if you see what I've heard often lately, Mormon cult impersonators with or without hair on their head, shaking up the storm, it's dad, justice for them. Look for all those devil's people and their Muslim brothers praying to that 9/11 devil down below. Look for them to have those very obvious consequences and excuse their worrying about that and anger about that as they alter my videos. Yeah. Got a few yesterday. 93 check joined for the month included in there. The YouTube.com/DNFD series. Remember, the links Excel I got where you can have 20 of the folks you know, or even just 5. Go to one of these links and make that video of you going to see the video. And Susan Wojcicki with her placing of that Russian guy. She's Russian, I believe, or married to someone Russian. Her using that political, and yes, it's fraudulent stuff, guys, when the view counts are altered. It's not quite as important as the phones. Randall Stevenson of AT&T in Dallas, Texas, hijacking a call to me, 424-229-4140. Stigmata eyes in there too, and my Tommy's. Not quite as important as that, but yes, it is important. All you folks that advertise on YouTube, you make videos of trying to go to these sites. These links, these are hours and hours, some of them. Or at least, well, a half hour for my minute Tommy's every day, just about. Hours and hours of stuff right there, and if you're a good advertiser, you're paying money to Susan, and she's not doing that job, she's committing fraud. Get it on video. Restructuring or just plain dismantling that mega monopoly. Who knows? Save the video of you trying to call me. They can reach me by phone with those texts, you know, about your account. So save the video of you trying to call me, Melton, with them on speakerphone or in person. Save it for the Senate subcommittee kind of thing. And yes, so youtube.com/DNFD series, that's what that is, and youtube.com/Melton for imagery. Well, there it is there. Follow the links and you find 30,000. You'll probably find this as a 4x6 print. Well, I'm not making any money off my graphic card. It's my AT&T livelihood. And you advertisers on YouTube and other places. Whatever boring thing you get when you try to call me, phone ringing, error message, busy signal, not going to be boring. If you need the firemen, police, paramedics, it's money out of your pocket every day. Get it on video. Susan committing fraud and that active part in religious censorship, placing a cowardly Hussein and placing a wrestling guy, Oriental wrestling, wants to build that great wall. in America. But yeah, it's religious censorship. You can't call me up to tell me what you believe. You can't comment on any of my saints' imagery. So get Susan's crimes on video. And yeah, if you know someone likes the saints, they're mixed in there with those 30,000. Print me out like you print your family's photos. That's 4x6 prints. I need to go through these again. And you get a saint that needs an image, you try to call me and you see that cowardly Hussein place in censorship. Yeah, they attacked us with 9/11. That's their missionary work. And then they attacked this place in the cowardly Hussein in our White House. Get it on video. That hatred masquerading as politically correct. Your family's lifeline network has to try to call me, and a lot of folks praying to that 9/11 devil down below. Oh, you can find this on the Excel I just updated. At least you can find it. I hope to get it soon. At least as soon as I get my order going. But yeah, it's on there. It's a 4x6 photo. Look for the one with the white background. And this is a links Excel. You got a whole lot of links to illustrate Susan's political and religious censorship, business censorship as well. Forefront of most folks putting meat on that table. But let me see where you are. Google Drive. 2018. I'll put them on all across. I got 4 different ones. One of them are going after with hatred. OneDrive. There it is right there. A little hard to read, but yeah, you got screenshots. Nice low def stuff I can store on 5 gigabytes of all my uploads to Instagram and YouTube. Check them out and yeah, print out that image, hand it out. Tell everyone, try to call Melton and make a video of a lot of folks praying to the 9/11 devil down below. They're a threat to our security as families, individuals, and America. Get it on video. You're trying to call me. Save the video for the Senate subcommittee stuff on that threat to our security that is America's hijacked lifelines that are easily documented. Do that. The Sunday's coming up. I'm not sure if I get these in, oh, the Hussein one is missing. But just look on the DVD label there. Sunday's coming up. This is Friday. All clergy. Make that video if you hijack call to me. Post 424-229-4140. And I'm not sure if these are in the big 5 folders on vote-truth.blogspot.com. They're prepared as 4x6 prints, like all my 93 check imagery there is. But I don't know if I got it there or not. I'm not even sure. I think it's this month, and I put it in last month as far as my printouts go. But yeah, the old 5s without the old English as the font will work. Tell your flock, whatever it is you call them. This weekend, 2 9/11 Flight 93 check and post of 5, not 1 Flight 93 check call, 337. Yeah, whenever I have a lot of stuff like the nice big 5 or the YouTube one here added in, it always seems like Always seems like the counts are a little high up into the 300, and I've said that before many times. I think there's a dartboard somewhere, and that's the smaller, browner eyes slowly disappearing, bigger blue circles growing in through and around. I'm going to show you the eyes real quick. And then, yeah, I got to go across the street. Get some stuff, my pills, food. I'm going to make that video, tell everyone you are clergy for to make the video. Smaller, browner circles disappearing, the white part on the brown there will get yeah, whiter at times, lighter at times. This one's very hard to see. I think the flashlight goes out completely. Slowly but surely. Make that video of America's Hijacked Lifelines, and yeah, come see me in person. 4260 Garrett Boulevard, Apartment 409, Los Angeles, California, 90065. Look for the man wearing his imagery. 30,000 plus of these things, including the Flight 93 check stuff like the Big Fuzz. Look for me wearing that, going across the street every once in a while, about once a week, and getting my stuff. And yeah, tell me what you think of my imagery. I don't get any Flight 93 check calls. I don't get many comments on YouTube, and the ones I get aren't always very good. I don't mean good as in they're positive. I mean good as in they don't make sense. Good, they make sense. But no comments by phone or mail or email about any of that stuff. So look for me in person, tell me what you're thinking. Yeah, bring your favorite flowers or a photo of your car or perhaps a photo of your flock, and I'll design it into some nice imagery. You can tell me all about your families, your flocks. Hijacked Lifelines. Emergency lifeline. Emergency hotline. They are a Muslim company threatening in front of them with one of their tenants. Teresa something or other, regional managers, representation. Enrique Vergara. Apartment. Call them 24/7. Park a fleet of noisemakers outside their homes. They love noise harassment. They are harassing a Christian in a wheelchair because I've been telling the truth about their company, Solari Enterprises. Also call up all cops of California. Ask them, when else will your phone not be allowed to work before you come out here as a tourist? You tried to call me. You can't reach me, and more of LAPD. I can't call more. You got the bizarre Muslim shriek. I got this man I'm calling to complain about, who is laying in wait for me as I go to get food. I've got him threatening. I've got the manager, Shauna, Enrique Vergara, Teresa, regional manager, not doing their damn job. You need to find out what else, because I often hear Iraqi, Taliban, and ISIS mentioned at this apartment complex. You need to know what the very Muslim folks from down below and elsewhere in the apartment complex are doing that affects you, besides your family's lifeline not working when you try to call me. They've seen how crazy he is, laying in the wait and then screaming at me. Anything to protect me. Reminded me of Louisiana and the Devil Bonds. Glory, personal knife in the back. They're raged. They got the 7/11 married on the 7th of September coming up. And yeah, the 11th was 9/11 that year. I don't know what you're trying to do, Solari Enterprises. If you want me to move out, show me a place where a man is not threatening me, a Christian in a wheelchair. Can you do that?
Please do something about that.
What are you involved in invasion? Revolution? What is the reason you are harassing me with the man down below, Solari Enterprises? Call up Trump, call up all the... Maybe they're still running off the cowardly Hussein stuff. Call up them, ask, why are you harassing a Christian in a wheelchair? When else will my phone not be allowed to work because of what you're doing? All soldiers, you protect America. Protect us from Solari Enterprises and those dangerous Muslims on American soil with the Mormon cult.
Your message has been sent.
Do that. It's unreal. I don't know. The man's been beating on the door during the time I've been here. He's laid in wait across the street. Solari Enterprises, Enrique Vergara, Teresa. I left the mutual manager. I've left messages with both of them, countless, with Solari Enterprises terrorist line, whoever's been the manager at the time. Can you call up Solari Enterprises and get them to stop harassing a Christian in a wheelchair, please? He is a member of the military. He's not semper treasonous. Good old American. And he's got a big list. He's handing them out to other Americans, and he's handing out to others of the military. You call up California's law enforcement, you call up the federal folks, you call up those elements. He knows he's not doing America a favor by hiding it. That are semper treasonous and active in impersonating yours truly, active in HNT, cowardly hijacking America's lifelines, and then getting Randall Stevenson in Dallas, Texas, getting his hands even bloodier, altering phone records, cover that up. Randy gets those calls into all those cops, home numbers, non-emergency numbers, of course, and he gets those very humored folks, the ones that get all that extra money. He gets them screaming out what else they're compromising the security of America with.